Welcome to Fort Dram and Goal. Hey, Dick, have you checked your work emails by any chance from the last 10 to 15 years?
No.
Okay, no reason. Anyway, grab a glass, put the game on mute, and take a listen.
Let's do this. Oh.
Welcome to Fort Dram and Goal. I'm your boy Kurt, and I got my boy Dick here.
What up, Drammers?
We're drinking Scotch. We've got Monday Night Football on, the Titans and the Bills, and we've got a whole bunch of football and other sports to talk with you guys today. We're going to bring our joy and pleasures of drinking and enjoying sports into your radio, your living room, whatever the hell you're listening to us on, and we're going to get into it. Dick, could you lay the socials on us for us?
For sure. All right, Drammers. So thanks for being with us tonight. A couple of reminders for you. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 4THDRAM. That's Fourth Dram. And don't forget to visit us on our website, fortdramandgoal.com. That's 4THDRAMANDGOAL.com. And as always, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, give us feedback. And always don't forget to tell your friends about us and make sure that you're subscribing, following us, whatever the shit is supposed to happen. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, Castbox, Spotify. We're also on YouTube now, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe on there. And we're always looking for new followers and feedback. So as always, send us an email, fortdramandgoal@gmail.com.
All right, man. I got the fucking Yankees hat on. I feel like I've got this pinstripes. I'm going to bring my best A game tonight. I'm excited. It's been a couple days since we've chit-chatted, since we had a shit face ordeal. I may as well tune the listeners into that. Me and Dick got on a long-distance shot contest.
Shots.
I sent him a video of me taking a shot, and he responded
with a double shot.
And yep, raised the antes, and then he got a return of a double shot and a chug of beer.
And then I did two double shots, and then we got into an argument about what was a one-upping each other, and then that led to a very fun-filled night that I don't remember anything past about 9 o'clock.
It wasn't fun for the wives. My wife was just kind of like,
"Are you fucking serious?"
That was so dumb. And I think I tried putting an exclamation point on the whole thing because I did a double shot, and then I chugged a beer that I had poured a single shot into, and I think that was when I heard. That's when I heard the. That was it. That was the kicker. But yeah, man, we got good stuff coming up. We got the fall, winter. It's kind of chilly down here in Texas, and it'll be hot. Then it'll be chilly. Then it'll be hot.
Yeah, I mean that's about what we're going through right now. One thing we forgot about that night, though, is the reason I was drinking so hard is because I was convinced we were going to lose to Bama. And we all know how that played out. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But,
I seem like that's in the past. I don't think we got to dwell on that anymore. But, yeah.
I mean, okay. You want to dwell on your glory days all the time. Let me do mine, okay?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. I was so shit-faced. I didn't even watch that game.
I was so shit-faced that I woke up the next morning, still drunk, called you, and then you took a shot of like apple juice, and I took an actual shot of Jack Daniels because I thought we were going for round 2.
Gotcha, bitch. Yeah, it was fun stuff. We got the Fall Classic coming up. I'm excited about today's episode. Before we get any further, why don't we get into what's in our glass? We've got Scotch tonight as we've continued the trend. I almost switched it up. I almost went Buffalo Trace on because why the hell not?
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, to take a Scotch break, but I think we're just going to have to keep on chugging through.
We may need a mid-season break.
Yeah. I went into my specs on, I believe it was like Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
No Buffalo Trace. I literally texted you that I was in the aisle and I said, fuck. Like I just want to walk into the store and grab Buffalo Trace again. And I can't. But then luckily Friday came around. I guess there was a large shipment, and they even had the big boys available, but they had that damn limit 1 sticker on there. Oh, how the times have changed. I reminisced with you a little bit. I said my first glass of Buffalo Trace was like 2009. I'm an OG Buffalo Trace fan. Anyway, so what do you got in your glass, my friend?
So for me, I am drinking Glen Moray, and it's a Speyside. It's actually double oaked, and I'm going to get this right and read it off the back. In Oloroso sherry casks and bourbon American oak barrels. So it's a very interesting one. It's a 15-year, and it comes in right about $65 MSRP.
Oloroso.
Yeah, I think I put a little bit of a flair on that. That's probably not there in real life.
That's a little San Antonio coming out from you. All right. I've got a Dewars white label blended Scotch whiskey.
It's blended. It's not single malt.
Mm-hmm. Little history for you on this one. I first had Dewars at Keith's big New Year's bash one time, a long time ago.
That was prior to us being of age, if I remember correctly.
No, I believe it was quite after. I attended with Dead Fish. Anyway, so it was a blended Highlands Scotch whiskey from the research that I've done. It is a $21 to $25 bottle. It is 80 proof, and it is Bacardi owned. So that's a popular brand for you there, right there. It is one of the more popular scotches here in the United States. It's sold in high volume. I believe it's up there with the Johnny Walker Reds of the world. And yeah, I figured let's try a common one again. I think I like that trend. Not only is it a good thing for me, but it's a good thing for my wallet.
There you go. I feel like Johnny Walker is the Jameson of Scotch, and Dewars is the Bushmills of Scotch. I feel like that's a pretty close comparison there when you talk about popularity and easy to find.
Wait, repeat that for me one more time.
Johnny Walker is the Jameson of Scotch.
Gotcha.
And Dewars is the Bushmills of Scotch.
So you're comparing the Irish whiskeys?
Yes.
Wouldn't you say Scotch is like in a league above that, though? Wouldn't you say that Jameson is the Johnny Walker?
I could get along with that. I think I was just trying to do like a popularity and ease to find and probably price comparison between the two. Like I feel like they're similar to each other.
Johnny Walker being the Jack Daniels,
I would get
Dewars being the Jim Beam.
I think that's a fair comparison. Yeah. Or Wild Turkey. No, we said the other one was Wild Turkey in our last episode.
Chivas.
Yeah, Chivas.
Chivas. Yeah.
Chivas.
All right. So I'm glad we got some good Scotch. That's
going to be in our next episode as a comparison. We'll do the like across. I'll put that together.
We got a lot to get into. Let's get rolling. Second dram here, buddy. Let's shoot the shit. What's big in the sports world right now? What do you want to talk?
So before we get into sports, you threw a question.
What the fuck?
I know, man. I'm throwing it at you. You threw a question at me last episode, right? It was the Madden ranking yourself as a husband. And he got me on this like rack and sack Madden rankings. I saw the Bourbon Junkies doing this like BTAC Buffalo Trace rankings. I was like, how do we take something similar, but make it our own, right? Make it our own thing. And I think I'd love the idea of us just picking a random fucking topic, seasonality, whatever it is, and let's fucking think about it. So that's what I got for you. It's about to be Halloween. So I've got two categories for you. And I want you to tell me, one, I want you to give me the Madden rankings for these top villains of horror movies that are Halloween or like, this kind of genre. And then I want to talk about lighthearted family fun. Let's give a 1 through 5 on how we rack and stack these 5 movies. Okay. So I'm going to shoot some stuff at you. Friday the 13th, Jason. Halloween, Mike Myers. Scream, Ghostface. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. And then It, Pennywise. Let's Madden rank these some bitches.
Yeah. And then after that, we can play some Dungeons and Dragons. So you want me to give a Madden rating on these characters?
Yes.
Okay. So Jason, is Madden rank overall? Because let's break this up. If you want me to go in depth, I'm going to go in depth. Jason's got a what? Like he's working with like a 63 speed here. He's like the classic. Like how the fuck does he keep up with everybody?
Yeah, he's a Tom Brady. All-time GOAT, possibly, but like slow as shit.
Oh, I like it. His accuracy though, with that damn knife of his, that's in the 98s.
Yeah, his short throw right there, right? Short stab radius. There you go.
I'm gonna go 95.
Okay. All right. I would probably I'm probably if I'm gonna like not rank all these in the 90s, I'm probably give him a low 90, probably like 92, 93.
Mike Myers. So if I'm doing a comparison, Jason's got to be the Aaron Rodgers. Mike Myers got to be the Tom Brady.
Oh, I completely disagree with you. Completely
Why?
disagree with you. I don't know. There's something about Mike Myers that inherently isn't that scary.
I'll tell
Like,
you what it is. It's all the new shit that's come out. Like apparently Mike Myers popular. Like you got the movie that just released for one, but even within like the last 1 or 2 years, you got Mike Myers like TikToks. You got Mike Myers like kids wanting to be Mike Myers, and like there's actually emotional videos where kids get to meet a adult version of Mike Myers and they get all happy, and it's just I don't know where it's coming from.
I'm gonna say that Mike Myers is like the Ryan Fitzpatrick. He never goes away and just keeps changing.
No, don't you do that to Mike
He's like an
Myers.
85. He's like an 85.
No, I'm going to go 96, Mike Myers.
Oh, okay.
If you ask a kid today, do you want to be Jason or Mike Myers?
Well, I don't think they're going to say
Mike
either
Myers.
of these. I think they're going to go to one of other ones.
No.
All right. Scream Ghostface.
Ghostface.
It's a fucking joke.
He is. I'm picturing him tripping over all his shit.
Because you've seen scary movies so many times.
Even the regular Scream movies, there was one of them, the only one that I may have seen 15 minutes of, that I was like, what the hell am I watching? I don't know. So we're talking agility, like a 50. We're talking about like his escape ability, not very good.
He was fast, though. He was fast. He would chase the shit out of those high schoolers.
So that's not a good thing to say these days. I'm gonna go 76. Ghostface is like
I would agree.
I need to get a free agent quarterback like off the market like ASAP, and he's possibly available.
It's Cam Newton. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, or It, Pennywise. In my opinion, these are the two scariest dudes on this list. I feel like these are the top guys.
Are you serious? Pennywise? Ronald McDonald's in the sewer? Are you serious?
I mean, he was like an alien spider.
Hey, Georgie.
That's fucking creepy,
you
bro.
Want to play?
The original two movies were way better than the last ones, though. I would say that.
No, and you see, you're in a whole other. We talked about this. I have not seen these movies. I'm not gonna lie to you. There have been two scary movies that I saw at the wrong age that effed me up for life, and like couldn't sleep for weeks. And the scary thing about them was that I will, but I'll tell you what makes them scary. Like there's no main character to them. There's shit that can happen, and it scares the shit out of me. My parents let me watch Poltergeist when I was like 6.
Okay. On that note,
why they did that?
I started watching Poltergeist was like 6, and that's one of my all-time favorite horror movies. Not even a horror movie. Like, yes, I love it.
I'm looking at the bottom of my house right now because I don't know what's underneath it.
Can I name the next one? Because I think I know what it is. And my mom let me watch it when I was 7 years old and see if it's the same as yours.
I bet you it is.
Exorcist.
Oh, no. I watched Exorcist when I was older. And by that time, I was like, I've been that drunk before. I've projectile vomited and
myself with a priest cross. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't that. That wasn't that bad. It was Pet Cemetery. Fuck that. The baby at the end, like with the knife and the wife. Nope. Like that made me not want to watch these movies. And I've dabbled in Friday the 13th. I've dabbled in some of the newer Halloweens, but no, those are some of the underrated, like scary ass movies. And the new generation, nope, won't even mess with them.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think that, in my opinion, Freddy Krueger is probably like the 97 rated overall. He's got the speed, he's got the agility, he's got the it factor, not it, but he's got like he pops up in your dreams and tries to kill you. He tries to kill you in your bed, and he tries to kill you on the street when you're out just like walking home at night. That's fucking scary. I mean, And he's got knives for hands. He's like Edward Scissorhands, but like crazier.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Willy Wonka. Yeah, I guess you're okay if you're into that. What else you got for me there, bud?
All right, more lighthearted. Family fun. I want you to just give me the rack and stack on these 5 movies. Hocus Pocus, Scary Movie, Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters, Addams Family. Just pure enjoyability. If you had to watch, one of out all these, that's your number 1. If you don't want to watch any of it at all, it's your number 5.
Ghostbusters 1, Addams Family 2, Beetlejuice 3, Scary Movie 4, Hocus Pocus 5.
Okay, so mine's Ghostbusters, Hocus Pocus, Scary Movie, Beetlejuice, Addams Family. I like Hocus Pocus. It's one of my family's like go-tos during the season. We watch it every year. I'm actually going to put out the projector in the backyard on Friday night, and we'll sit out there and watch that movie. It's just one that we all love.
Yeah, it's not a knock on Hocus Pocus. I just instantly, I could think of the order that I would rather watch all those movies in. And the funny thing is, we've already watched Hocus Pocus. We've already watched Addams Family just the other night. Scary Movie, I don't think that gets thrown into a Halloween movie for me, but I would rather watch it than Hocus Pocus because it's funny as shit. But
Scary Movie 2 specifically for me. Grab a strong hand.
I could. There's so many lines. I'm going to be the bigger man and walk away. Yeah, it's a classic.
It really is. All right. Okay. So now that we've done that, we've done our mandatory bullshit topic. John Gruden, man.
Talk about a nightmare situation.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird because it started off as just the first emails. I won't repeat what was said. You can look that up, but it started off with one bad email, and everyone was like, "That's pretty bad, man." Randy Moss got pretty emotional, but for the most part, a lot of people were saying, I'm not saying it's my opinion or your opinion, but people were saying like, okay, he needs to apologize and kind of keep going. But then the shit really hit the fan. And then he just went down in flames because he just really, really messed up with all the things that came out, the investigation, email after email, different, groups of people that he attacked and said things. And yeah, it got really ugly. And by the, Monday night, John Gruden's not the coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. It's crazy. That was crazy. That was one of those like nightmare situations. It was similar to, I'm not even going to go there. What do you think, Dick?
I mean, I think you said it all, but I think it brings up, something we'll talk about here in a second too. This is not just a John Gruden problem. There's other problems with the league. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg for a lot of what's going to happen. So we'll see. See what actually plays out. But I mean, Derek Carr, I think, summed it up perfectly, right?
Whether you like his ability as a starter, it's hard to hate the guy that Derek Carr is. Like, he's just like, he's an all-around good guy. I don't even know him. But yeah, he had that quote, "I love the man, I hate the sin." Like, talk about a way to quote it. Like, damn, that was deep. And then it's a weird situation. Like, this is not a team that's like, we're done. They just beat the Broncos this week. I mean, even though it's the Broncos,
they're posers, and we called that 3 weeks ago.
It could have been very easy for them to just shit the bed and say, we've had a heck of a week. But no, they came out slinging and beat the Broncos, and they've got a chance. And, with the way the Chiefs are struggling and, the Chargers took an L, they're going to have a chance to compete. And it's going to be very interesting if they rally the troops. I think a guy like Derek Carr can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's going to feel about his future next door neighbor, but you didn't hear about that?
No, I'm looking at you very quizzically.
Guess who was building a brand new house next to Derek Carr in Las Vegas?
Gruden?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Gruden's going to sell that and get out of there.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so it's interesting too, because Gruden was, I mean, he was football analyst, Super Bowl winning coach, already been taken out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor. What does he do? Does he come out in a couple months and say my bad and just kind of quietly disappear into the night in terms of football? Does somebody give him a shot 5 years down the road?
I don't think you can. I mean, I think it's
can't either.
I think he's Jim Tressel. I mean, Trestle's was completely different, but Tressel just faded off into the night.
Yeah, but Tressel was also like at the end, like he got hired at Ohio State lasted a good while there.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, from the standpoint of like once they got fired, you just never hear from him again. I think if he's lucky, that's what happens. If he's not so lucky, it becomes a lot more. He just he apologized. He went his way. He did the right thing by resigning. He didn't try to fight it.
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't going to have much time there where he was going to be able to they were going to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Let's clarify that.
But he could have started throwing everybody and their mother under the bus because once again, he's not the only problem.
But then the question is there anybody relevant for him to throw under the bus? Like that's what we're waiting to find out.
We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, that was the big news. And it already feels like ages ago, but that was like last Monday in real time for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got?
More excitingly, Rodgers.
I fucking own you.
He wasn't doing. He did the discount double check and then told Bears fans that he fucking owned them.
It's so defeating. Like it's so defeating.
And then he was like, I blacked out.
Well, yeah, because he said he got the double birds from a lady in the stands.
Then he blacked out.
I don't know, man. I've got double birds a lot of times, and I just kind of like, whatever. Okay.
I mean, but he does own the Bears. I think it takes out the possibility of him going to the Bears next year.
It would be even better if he's like, now I really fucking own you. Like, no, I don't know. Like the Texans suck right now. There's no denying it. They suck so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bears actually, like, they got their quarterback of the future in. They're playing. They only lost by 10. He just said, nope. Game over. So defeating.
Yeah, I will say this, though. I want to talk to Texans just for a second.
Why?
Because I watched Davis Mills play.
I don't love Sundays anymore because of them.
I mean, Davis Mills isn't great, but he's not horrible. He has like glimpses of talent.
That's not the point. It's the whole shebang. It's the whole point that we are 2 years removed from being like 24 points up on the Chiefs to go to the AFC Championship. And DeAndre Hopkins and J.J. Watt are over there kicking ass with Cliff Kingsbury, of all people, in Arizona. All right. It's the fact that Deshaun Watson is just standing off in the fucking lifeboat with his vest on, watching the Titanic go down, like just standing there, which for many reasons, but
I thought he was laying on a table.
Ooh, dirty. But yeah, it's just a whole, like, we're not even in rebuild. Like, because now it's like, is Mills your dude? Is there a quarterback coming out next year that's worth taking over a defensive stud? Like, I love Ole Miss, but
no.
It's like the two dudes that I would love.
You're not
to
going to take Matt Corral. No.
Like, I don't know.
Second round, maybe, not first round.
He's moving up the draft boards there, buddy.
That says less about the draft boards than it does his talent.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Throw some other first round quarterbacks that have been taken and see if it's that much of an argument. EJ Manuel was the first quarterback taken by the Buffalo Bills, and like they're going to take a quarterback in the first round. It's going to happen. But like the two quarterbacks that I would actually love aren't eligible next year, so we'll see.
Who would those be?
Old Bryce Young over there at Alabama. Looks like he's the real deal. And then, holy cow, I have not got this fired up about a freshman in quite some time. But Caleb Williams, which we'll save for our college football segment, has lit my pants on fire. Like, this dude is the dude. Too bad Oklahoma still doesn't have a defense, but wow. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. You want to stick with Chi-Town and a little bit more controversy going on over there?
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. Tell me what happened with Cusack.
I got to give you some background. I love John Cusack. John Cusack is one of my favorite actors of all time. And I've had this conversation.
I should have put 1408 on that damn list.
Nope, not 1408. Shut your mouth. Say Anything. His small but very important part in Stand By Me.
Mm-hmm.
Con Air.
I forgot about Cusack's character in Con Air. Great supporting actor. Yeah.
And then one of my all-time favorites that if you haven't seen, you need to, One Crazy Summer. I love it. I love John Cusack. He means a lot to me. Me and Big Tony have had this conversation many times because they always get the whole why. And I just say you wouldn't understand if you haven't watched most of John Cusack's movies. So John Cusack got confronted by, I believe, White Sox Dave, something like that, over at Barstool. He's outside the Chicago White Sox, which, you know, had a pretty decent playoff run. We're probably expected to do a little bit more than they did by getting beat by the Astros pretty easily. So Cusack's outside the stadium enjoying, you know, the game, or having had enjoyed the game. And old dude from Barstool comes up to him and calls him out on it because apparently, you know, Cusack is often at Cubs games and he's at White Sox games and he's, you know, a fan of both. And he called him out and he was basically like, hey, man, that's bullshit. You can't do that. You've got to suffer. You've got to suffer when the White Sox are down. Like, you can't just be, you know, and for that town, it's kind of worked out perfect for this scenario because you had the White Sox World Series back in the day. Then you had the Cubs run, and now the White Sox are back. So this was a conversation that, you know, could happen. Cusack went on attack mode instantly. All right. Started doing what I do often when I'm drunk and somebody calls me out about my teams. I throw random ass players that you wouldn't know for no damn reason. He called him out and goes, do you know who the first baseman in 1984 for the White Sox was? And the guy was like, no. So anyway, Cusack's boom. He's on the defense and he's rolling. Dude from Barstool's rattled. He even came out with an article like I was shaking after that. And then he actually got pretty tore up because Cusack kind of went on the defense he dropped some tweets like saying, I'm going to root for both. I love both. I have the right to, you know, and just insulting the guy, you know, you bad breath, blah, 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 blah. So my question to you, Chicago is one of the unique places where this can happen. Mm-hmm. All right. Because I can't even, you know, what are you looking at me like that for?
I'm looking at your hat before you say this.
Such a dick. I was going to say, I said one of the few unique situations.
And then you said, I can't even think of as you're wearing a Yankees
I can't
hat.
even think of any other. That's how much I fucking love the Yankees. I forget about that other team. I don't even think of the Mets.
And the Jets and the Giants.
Cusack.
Jets and Giants.
Okay. You didn't let me finish.
I didn't have to.
Chicago and New York. And it should happen in Los Angeles, which it kind of
does happen in Los Angeles.
Anaheim. Clippers. Fuck you. Anyway. The Scotch is good. Anyway, so it's still you're still talking three cities, okay? Give me another one, dick.
I don't have to. You proved yourself wrong twice.
I didn't prove myself wrong. You didn't let me finish the statement. You just made some stupid face.
Technicalities, sir.
Anyway, so does Cusack, can you be so Chicago that you can do that and pull that off?
I don't see why not.
Okay, back to your shitty point. Can you be so New York that you can root for both?
I don't think New Yorkers can be that New York. But if I lived in New York, I would totally be wearing both hats.
Explain why.
Because I'm not a native New Yorker.
No, but why can you do that in Chicago but not New York?
Because, I mean, I don't know. It's city pride, man. I mean, put all San Antonio. Like, it's everything San Antonio. I could root for both. It's what's important to you, right? Is it important creating a divide within your city? Like we have a divide with this in this country and picking a side, or is it important to be a New Yorker or an American or Chicago?
Here we go.
I'm asking the question. You asked a question.
Calm down, CNN. I'm just asking a simple, can you root for the same sport?
Yes, and I gave you
an
answer.
I put myself in this situation. I will not root for the Mets, but I'm not a native New Yorker.
Yeah.
So then I try to think like, okay, Texas. I won't root for that other fucking football team in Texas. That's for sure.
I kind of root for both.
Damn it. See.
But I told you that,
defend Cusack, but that just pisses me off that you say that. You can't do that. But
Cusack did it.
It's so hard for me to do. Like, I want to say it's cool. It's Chicago. Like, he has a different fight there. Like, we're talking the state of Texas. Sure. He's talking like his hometown where he grew up and he went to games.
Yeah, but we're native Texans and we tend to like just take in the entire state and love every aspect of it.
That's love not true at all.
Okay.
No, not true at all.
I mean, so I'm an Aggie, but I do love Austin.
Yeah, but y'all are weird. Maybe the Colt thing just kind of got you to the point where you just have to escape, like on Hunger Games. I don't know.
Like, you escape College Station. Like, I'm pretty sure Lubbock's in the middle of a fucking desert. That takes you 45 minutes to get anywhere else.
Right, but we love it.
Oh, okay. You keep telling yourself that, and you're calling my school a cult.
Your school is a cult. You're not going to sit here and you say your school is not kind of cult.
Did I say my school was not a cult? No, I said, and you're calling mine. It's pot and
my
kettle.
My school's not a cult.
Pot and kettle.
My school's not like a cult.
It's not. If you're going to sit there and say that you love it and you love not being able to go anywhere else, like if you love being in Lubbock, nobody loves fucking being in Lubbock. Nobody does.
For 4 years, I sure did. I love the shit out of it.
You love the shit out of it. Exactly. You only stayed there 4 years.
But I'm sorry I didn't stay there 6 or 8. Well, I guess if I was getting a doctorate,
isn't like 6 like the average bachelor time it takes to get a bachelor's?
Oh, there?
Yeah.
Oh, don't make me hiss at you. All right. So Cusack, I guess he gets a pass because he's John Cusack, and it's, he can't do that in football or basketball.
So I have a question for you. I want to do this, and we're going to pick up big cities here. I'm going to say, if you live there, what would you be a fan of? And I'm going to start with New York because I know your answers here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So New York, baseball.
Yankees.
Okay. Football.
Jets.
Hockey.
Rangers.
Okay. Mine in there are Jets, Mets, Islanders. I think I like the shitty teams. I think there's something about me that likes to lose, and maybe it's because
I can answer that. It's the color scheme. You have no dog in the fight except for the color scheme.
Well,
and you've admitted to that for the Islanders. You think the orange and the blue, and I don't blame you. I love the New York Knicks. Like, that's not.
Yeah, but so are the Rangers.
So two of the three are my favorite teams.
So basketball,
the Knicks.
Okay,
but I love the Knicks. They're my favorite team.
I know, but I mean, but the orange and the blue go together,
right.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't like the Nets at all.
I didn't start liking the Knicks because I was like, oh, I like that color scheme.
Yeah,
I started liking the Knicks because of Allen Houston.
Okay.
I love him so much I moved to the city named
LA. That's why. Yeah, sure. Okay.
What about LA?
All right, LA, Chargers or Rams?
Oh, this is a new fucking argument. Who gives a shit? Like, it's within the last.
It's a question. It's not an argument. I'm asking a question.
Oh, man.
It's a good one because you can't come up with a fucking answer.
No, because it's such a shitty argument. Like, they're both new to the city. They're both irrelevant teams to me within,
God. Just fucking answer.
Dog that I have in the fight is I liked LT. So Chargers.
Okay. I can say that. Yeah, I would go with the Chargers over the Rams. Basketball. Lakers.
Oh, Lakers.
Yeah, I fucking hate the Clippers. And then baseball.
There's no other team in Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, but okay, let's just say you get Dodgers or Anaheim.
No, I'm going Dodgers.
Okay.
I like what you're doing here. Cubs or White Sox?
Probably the Cubbies.
I think I gotta go Cubbies also.
I mean, I want to say White Sox, but it's got to be
just because of Henry Roland Gardner.
That, and then yeah. I mean, the Wall. I mean, It's history. Like I would love to live in Wrigleyville. That'd be awesome.
We have gone down such a rabbit hole right here that my brain is just firing. Okay. Boston, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. You have to live in one city for its sports. Go.
New York.
And see, that sucked because they are my favorite team. So as soon as I said that, I was like, fuck, it's not even a contest for me. Okay, take New York out of the equation. Boston, Los Angeles, Chicago.
Chicago.
I think so too.
I think so too. Boston, LA.
Boston, even though I can't religiously root for the Red Sox.
I can't be a Celtics fan. I can't be a Red Sox fan. I can't be a Pats fan. I can't do it. I'm going to say LA.
I could see myself if Gillette Stadium's on there. So if you take sports out of it, Boston's actually, and I've said this multiple times, city. I would love to go to Boston for the food, grab some chowder, maybe beer, maybe see Ben and Matt walking in the street, say what's up to them. Maybe we throw back a couple Sammy Adams. You know, I would love.
You want to be the cousin from Boston?
Cousin from Boston. Yeah, I mean, I actually would. But anyway, we got a fucking show to keep doing. I loved what we did there. But what do we got?
All right. So the last thing is like George T. Stagg, just for our listeners who don't keep up with whiskey news, there is no George T. Stagg this year. There's no 2021 release. The barrels were not up to par.
Not up to their standards.
So it makes a whole new thing. Like, what did they do with those barrels? Well, the press release, they said they're going to hold them and see how they age in the future, which is interesting because then that creates a whole new whiskey release. And I feel like this is getting lost in the sauce. People are like, oh, there's no George T. Stagg this year. Yeah, but you might have a George T. Stagg 20. That'll be interesting. Like, does it age better over an additional 2 years? We'll see. But we always talk about those little nuances with whiskey, and I feel like that's something worth calling out. It's a whiskey headline. It was last week, at least. But I'm looking
do you think they're doing it? Do you think that there's some marketing guy who's like, yeah, we can sell it this year?
I don't.
Or we can slap a George T. Stagg 2021 batched sticker on it and make a whole heap load of money.
I would be really sad if that was the truth.
That whiskey is all about a trend.
Yeah, I would be really sad if that was the truth. I don't think that's what it is. I like to think that there's actual standards that they're trying to live up to. But we already kind of went down this rabbit hole. Let's go ahead and get into our third dram. But before we do that, let's talk about what's on the nose of these glasses. This is a whiskey show after all. So you want me to go first? You want to go first? How you want to do this, brother?
Ooh, I'll go first. I'm a little Dewars coming back in my memories. Out of the two that I've had, two previous ones and then this one. So the three that I've had, I did say this was a Highlands, correct? This has the most smoke as soon as you take the nose out of the three that I've had. Like, this has some good little smoke to it. I saw a lot of the same on the reviews, so that's going to stand out to me. It is, it is very, it's not as dark as the other ones. So I tend to think white wines, lemons. I am getting honey, the smoke. Remember, with these scotches, I got to dig a little bit more compared to bourbons. Plus, I had a weekend of just loving the shit out of Buffalo Trace. I get a little, and once again, it could be the color that's taking me this way, but a little white grape, maybe. The honey's predominant. The honey and the smoke. What about you, friend?
Yeah, so for me, I'm having the same problem. You drink a lot of bourbon on the weekends. You say you're going to do a whiskey show, so you got to bring in scotch. For me, if you dig into it, you get two very, very bourbon-y flavors, but they're very, very faint. And those are like oak is there, a little bit of red fruit, right? It's like cherries, that sort of thing. And then I've always said like floral with scotch, but the predominant one is honey. Like I would say it's honey plus. Like that is the overlying, very, I won't say aggressive because it's not really aggressive, but that is the predominant smell. Overall, I would say, and I'll let you rate yours here in a second. Like if I talk about noses, B minus. And I think what I'm starting to realize is I like just stronger smells. It's hard for me to appreciate the faint of some of these scotches. Like I like Islay scotches that are aggressive in your face.
Yeah. The smoke on this is nice, but it has a funk. It has a little bit of funk, and I don't know if that just goes with it being a cheaper scotch, but it gives me a funk that knocks it into the B minus category. Not bad. I mean, I'm still interested to see what I'm going to feel overall about a $21 scotch towards the end. And one of the reviews, a common thing I saw was this is a popular go-to scotch as compared to the others, but not a bad start to the nose. Just a little funky funk. So, all right.
Did you rate it?
B minus, yes.
All right. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get to that third dram, and we're going to call this one college football and NFL football. Very original of us. I don't know what the shit that noise was, but all right. So college. Let's talk about some notables, and once again, we have been on the air for about 2 weeks now. Recent notables.
A&M beat Bama. Who gives a shit? Moving on to the LSU.
Damn,
I'm
bro.
just kidding. I know that you are tooting your horn over there. I know it's been a game that's going to go down as one of the glorious days in Aggie football history. Jimbo is our savior, and we have taken Goliath and we have destroyed him. So please, sir, have your 5 minutes of fame and lay it on me. Was that a pirate? I don't know if that was a pirate or if that was...
That sounded like if Mike Leach became a pastor.
I think that sounded like, do you remember the movie Role Models where the guy was like playing the Dungeons and Dragons game and he was here forever? I don't know.
It's called LARP.
There you go. Live action role play.
play.
Oh, damn. I'm a nerd. Okay. Anyway, continue. Have your stage.
No, I mean, like it was a great game. I mean, everybody's already heard all of the assessments, and we went out and played Missouri. We play South Carolina this weekend. That's 2 high schools back to back. We should win those games. Sure. I mean, it gave me some renewed sense that we may make a decent bowl game this year, but we still have Auburn. We still have LSU. These are not going to be easy games for us.
The game we were supposed to hang out on for Old Miss, that's going to be a good one.
I know, man. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, like, there's some life back in this team.
My doctor said the rash should go away in 2 to 3 weeks. It should be okay.
And I don't think Haynes King is coming back this year. I just don't see him playing.
What's the point?
There's not a point. I mean, there's not a point.
But it's setting you up for one hell of an off-season question mark if Calzada does a decent job the rest of the year. I mean, he dethroned the king.
Yeah. I mean, that he won
the king.
He won the Maxwell Player of the Week. So, yeah.
But, as we'll talk about shortly, it's all about who's hot right now in the quarterback world. Before we get to that game, or let's get to that game because LSU, we've got some things to talk about. We've got to save that.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, Caleb Williams can ball. Like, I've talked about my love-hate for OU.
Yep.
I don't like them. They've been a rival for Tech.
But you root for them one
root for them
one day a year.
Yes. But I am a Lincoln Riley fanboy. He has the Texas history. I love what he does offensively. I mean, we know what he's talking about on the offense, not so much on the defense. And Caleb Williams was just perfect. Like, he's been perfect. He came in against Texas in that environment. It is not the best rivalry in football. That's a whole other argument. But it's a hell of a stage to come in and do what he did. And then he just dissected TCU and put a perfect game together. Like, he's pitching a perfect game so far. Does that change anything for you in terms of Oklahoma? Can they outscore these teams in the playoffs now?
I feel like Oklahoma's offense is playing up to what we thought they would at the beginning of the year. Their defense is just so god-awful that I don't know, once again, that their offense always has that much in the tank every game. I think they could outscore people in the shootout if they're healthy, ready to go, and they're on top of their game. But football is like, you have to play both sides of the ball, and they don't play one of them. So, yeah. I mean, they play special teams, but they don't play defense at all.
Yeah, I agree, but it does set them up for this Notre Dame scenario where do you keep doing this to yourself? Do you keep putting them in the playoffs when you know they're not going to stop people if they win out the rest of the year?
I don't know. I don't think so. Unless their defense like seriously turns something around. If I'm a voter, which I'm not, I'm not. No, I'm not voting in. They're going to win the Big 12,
and I think they get voted in because of that. But we'll see. Let's go Rattler and then LSU. So Rattler, talk about fall from grace, but it's been bumpy. He got benched in the UT game last year, finished out the year. It's just been a struggle this year, even in the games that you're like, dude should be balling. Yeah. Then you had the crowd calling Caleb Williams' name against, who was it, West Virginia?
I think they did against Tulane as well.
Yes. And then, so he's unless Caleb Williams has a injury, knock on wood for the guy, I hope that does not happen. I don't think we're seeing Spencer Rattler taking the realms again anytime soon in Oklahoma.
I would agree with you. I think there is a lot of hype, and I've said this since he was in high school, but the dude got an $800,000 NIL deal, which included like 2 brand new Dodges, apparently. Like, he's hype train, man.
Awkward.
Yeah, like, how does that work out? Like, how's that contract or stipulation?
Is he the one that has the Kings deal too?
I don't know. I didn't hear that, but
God, I would love that deal. Kings is awesome.
Kings for life. But yeah, dude, so do you think he transfers? Like, do you think this is it?
Not if, it's when.
Okay. So do you think he finishes out the year with OU?
He's gonna have to, because they're past the week 3 or 4.
Yeah, but he could say, F you guys, I'm going to go ahead and just transfer out and like pull out of school.
No, I think he stays because, like I said, if an injury pops up, he's automatically back behind the Oklahoma offense. And he's building up credibility and making himself look good for those teams that he would transfer to.
He's sitting there back doing like voodoo magic against his starting quarterback. Like,
well, that's a funny point you make, because then that's another thing. Like, why am I going to go back in for this team that's benched me and I can get hurt when I'm trying to transfer to another school? So I don't know. That's a good point you bring up by your bad joke.
Chuckle. So, all right, let's talk about these 5 schools that I have on this list. These are horrible reporting driven. Okay, this is not credible sources. This is someone making up a fucking list.
These are from a lot of these were you put these on here, but these are the same schools that I saw from an article earlier.
Probably same article, right? So everybody's saying he's probably going to transfer, but not many people are throwing names out there. So Arizona State, UCLA, all makes sense, right? It's Pac-12 schools. He's from out there, makes sense. Houston is an interesting one because they're going to be in the Big 12. Texas.
Texas
State
wants him.
I mean, would you want him if you're Texas?
Not if there's this quarterback that
Thompson
word is spreading is a possibility. Not if this young boy with the last name Manning who says, "Yeah, I'll go to 40 acres and play ball." Wait, would Manning be next year or the year after?
He's next year.
Aha. So, yeah, not if that young man says I'm coming. If that's the case, no. But I don't see Texas. The list I saw did not have Texas on there. If I'm in the state of Arizona right now, I'm probably going to Arizona State because I'd like to be somewhat competitive. I did not hear Houston, but that would make sense. Why not?
I mean, they
And
do
you,
have a history of picking up former D1 Big 12 guys.
So yeah, out of the choices that you said, UCLA would absolutely be the one I would go to if I'm hoping and praying, like for a school like Oregon to come a knocking. I mean, they've had a history of picking up some transfers. They have one right now. I don't know how much eligibility he has left. But yeah, and I don't think Rattler's going to be one of those guys, even though it seems like everybody gets approved right now, but I don't think he's a grad transfer. So what do you think? Like maybe if maybe that
he doesn't
would
need
be
to
reason.
anymore. No, he can just transfer. Everybody gets one.
Really? They don't have to sit out a year?
No, that changed with NIL rules.
Oh, sick.
Or before the NIL rules.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. Out of
It's
those
basically like
schools,
a fucking sweepstakes.
UCLA.
I just don't see the appeal. Like I see the problem with I always good going down that comparison. The problem with Rattler is I see too much Tate Martell in him. All right. I see
Tate Martell has enough tape for you to compare him.
No, but like they're both on the, with the QB1, right? Cocky, arrogant, not just cocky, arrogant. And then their skills when they get pushed to the test, don't back it up, right? Like they were sure you were the shit in high school. That's fucking cool. Like, and you go to a big ass school and either don't start or when you do start, you get benched. Like, I just don't know that I want that kind of like drama because you can't tell me wherever he goes is not going to be fucking drama. Drama.
It may be drama, but there's going to be a team that wants Spencer out.
Sure.
I mean, he showed enough. Like he showed enough that they're going to want him. It's just going to be a matter of where he goes. And
if you're Houston, you want him.
I mean, I hope the guy lands on his feet. I mean, it's been a rough year for him. I did not see the show.
Don't give me it's been a rough year for him. He landed an $800,000 deal without even taking a fucking snap.
Okay, well, in that case, it's been a great year for him. But, I mean, he got booed. I mean, did you see the video of, like, when they, like, apparently nobody really knew until they announced the starting backfield for Oklahoma at the game. And as soon as Caleb Williams' picture came up on the screen, like, the crowd went psycho. How do you feel if you're Spencer Rattler, they're warming up?
So he already knew. Everybody knew because specifically Lincoln Riley didn't say it was Spencer Rattler.
The reaction, Dick. The reaction
told me they were all too drunk to read the obvious, like writing on the wall. So Spencer Rattler knew ahead of time.
Talk about sports.
Fuck him.
Is there anything in Oklahoma other than? Oh, I guess you got the Thunder. Moving on.
All right, LSU.
At the end of the day,
they beat Florida.
Go home to another school because I don't work there no more. Eddie O is gone.
Allegedly, they've been he's going to finish the year. They were in talks for the last couple of weeks, so this has been working. So he's in the middle of knowing that he's not going to coach there anymore, but goes in to Florida and beats them.
Well, yeah, you don't expect Eddie O to lay down and just take it.
I don't. I mean, it's even more like amazing despite all that, right?
At the end of the day, we won, but I'm not going to be your coach. So this is awkward.
And I mean,
but there have been some weird stories coming out. Have you seen like the side chick stories coming out?
Yes, he's bringing his girlfriends up to practice, and their kids or some shit.
And like a picture was released or something. We got a little bit of Urban Meyer going on, and
speaking of Urban Meyer, got his first win.
Oh yeah, the grind is real, bro. So yeah, I mean, so who was?
Don't give me poor Ed O. $17 million buyout.
That's true too.
Don't give me poor at anything.
Who was it? Auburn, Gene Chizik, was he the one that I won the national championship and they hadn't even cleared up all the confetti before he was out of town? Is that the last guy that happened?
Yeah. To? So I read a Reddit column or Reddit post, and someone did the math. Someone did the math, and that or Ed O has now taken the title from Gene Chizik from the standpoint of the coach getting fired X amount of days after winning a national championship.
It was so weird though, because so Ed, Coach O, I'll give him the respect. Coach O he was intern, right? When Les got fired.
Yep.
And it was kind of like, we want Tom Herman, but Tom Herman doesn't want us. And then was there anyone else?
That was a top tier program that was capable of taking anybody's coach.
No, don't go there. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
No, but see what happens with Tom Herman. Yeah.
Oh, and Tom Herman comes back?
No, but that's a whole no. See what happened when Tom Herman chose Texas over LSU. So it's like, okay, you're our coach, and then it gets off, and then all of a sudden Joe Burrow happens and Joe Brady, and it's a combination. It's a match made in heaven, and it's
if Joe Burrow doesn't go to that school,
beautiful.
Ed O got fired 3 years ago.
Yeah, well,
2 years ago.
Yeah, if Burrow doesn't get canned in Ohio State, it's a history is rewritten. So what do you think? Too soon? Do you think it's right? Do you think it was meant to be? Like, what do you think?
I mean, they were talking about it last year. I was surprised he made it through the damn offseason. A lot of people were. You can't afford to have one really shitty season. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, unless you're Saban. I don't know if Saban could survive it at this point. People will be calling for his head after losing 2 games in a row. But I don't think it's too soon. But I will say this, to your point you just made, I don't know that Coach O was ever the right coach for LSU long term. Like, he was there. They couldn't get who they wanted. They stuck with him. They stuck with their dude. He had great fortune that came to him. He maximized on that. But did you ever think Ed O was the Nick Saban for LSU?
Yes. I'll disagree with you. No, I'll disagree with you on this one. I do think Ed O was the perfect, was LSU.
So,
but
I would agree with that. He is Louisiana.
Right. And it was fun. And he got the best year. He got 1 year out of that program that schools would just trade anything for. That
my
one
school
season
would trade any amount of money for. Yes.
Perfect example. So I think he was the right guy for the job, but you made a good point. I think they don't want to do Les Miles 2.0. I don't think they want to do, is he rebuilding? Can he rebuild? Do we drag this out? I think they've learned from that. And I think, hey, we're LSU. Saban left. Somebody new came in, won a championship. Les Miles left. Ed came in. We won a championship. He'll leave. Somebody else will come in. Somebody else will win a championship at LSU. And I think they're just getting that going before it's, what they did with Les Miles.
I think it's fair. Yeah, they waited for Les for too long. But do you ever have a long-term coach at LSU, like in the near future? Like, let's say this next person comes in, one of our 2 guys that we're going to name here in a second.
Well, LSU is such a what have you done for me lately program. Yes, if it's a person who wins multiple national championships or is in that conversation every year, then yeah, they're going to keep going. Now, I don't want to get into the conversation that we had yesterday because that was me just busting your balls and getting you all riled up, and I'll say I succeeded. But I will ask you a question surrounding it.
Sure.
What programs do you not leave for LSU? Like, is LSU holy grail?
I thought about this quite a lot, after we talked, right? And so, for the record, what Kurt did to me was like, so Jimbo, LSU, huh? And I was like, no fucking way. There's no way. And I think this goes back to our last conversation about the basketball. I think you and I have 2 different perspectives on this, and this is where I'm landing here. Because when you ask that question, you're like, the holy grail, is it the historical, top end program that has, the championships and the banners and stuff like that?
Yes, and to give our listeners feedback, we were talking specifically about the University of North Carolina basketball program.
Yeah,
in that conversation,
and Duke too. It was
and I don't remember Duke because that would have been
it was Coach K. When Coach K was talking about retiring, it was all right on the same time, right?
Yeah.
So,
oh shit, I forgot that was happening.
Yeah, you got one more round, buddy.
We can't wait till our college basketball preview. But this is different than that because this is LSU's relevant recently. This isn't a history lesson.
That's what I'm saying. Though. When you talk about relevancy, you're talking about relevancy, right? You'll sit there and say, well, I don't know if you'll say this or not, but I think that the answers are Bama, right? Some would even say Notre Dame, although they haven't been, in my opinion, relevant in a long time.
I wouldn't say Notre Dame. I'll tell you the ones that I said, and just when you get done with this thought.
I think some would say USC, right? I think these are those blue blood Ohio State. Those are those programs. But my perspective on this is, if you're asking Dick, like, where would I go? I'm the guy who, if I'm a coach at a Big 12, SEC, Pac-10, Big 10 school, and I have funding, support, commitment, and I have the recruiting pipeline, I would much rather build my own dynasty and my own legacy rather than taping mine to the guy who came before me. And I feel like LSU, Bama, North Carolina, Duke, UK, like basketball, Florida football, like USC football, whoever it is, you're always appending your success to the guy before you, and you're not always writing your own name on the wall. So for me, when you talk about Jimbo in this situation, that's where my head was at. I don't want to go anywhere from Jimbo because I have all the right ingredients. Now it's just up to me to mix them up together and go on the Great British Baking Show and win that sumbitch. Like, you have everything in the making. Why go leave all the right ingredients for a perceived greener grass over there when obviously, to your own point, there's something not right in the water in LSU. There's something not right there because they are not a sustainable winning tradition. Coach comes in, win, bye. Coach comes in, wins, bye. Like, there's no forgiveness. That's my opinion.
Les Miles was there for over 10 seasons.
No, I don't disagree with that point, but the forgiveness factor is gone.
Okay, so yeah, we had the Jimbo talk yesterday. God damn, it's so fun getting you riled up. That was the whole
purpose. But it got my mind spinning. I'm like, that's my perspective. That's where I sit as a human being, a professional. Like, even going to my job, like, I don't like going to an area that's already established. I like to go find that nugget that I believe in with the right system, the right tools, the right funding, and go build that shit and make it my own. Like, I love building shit.
Right. But there's also another perspective from it. And I'll tell you the schools that I said.
Sure.
You don't leave Bama.
No.
Because of the consistency to win the conference every year, because of the success that they've had, and because of the name, I don't leave Ohio State for LSU unless I'm Joe Burrow. And I would have a hard time if I was like Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma. I don't leave Oklahoma for LSU because I'm going to win that conference. And just like this year, I'm going to win the conference and I'm going to get into the playoffs. Now, if we're in the SEC, yeah, it's going to be a little different story. LSU is holy grail to me. And I understand what you're saying, but it also means something to people. Like, even Jimbo and his little, like, I'm not going rant said like, he loves it over there. They love football. Like, they love football in LSU.
And AM doesn't?
I'm not doing A&M to LSU. This isn't specifically about Jimbo. I'm talking about the name in general.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
LSU's like,
yeah, because
I sent you realistic information. A&M marketing, nobody's going to compete with the A&M marketing in the budget. But when it comes to like they love football there, and they've won national championships. So I'm not going to Notre Dame, who has the history and the dust on the trophies. I'm not USC that has dust on trophies that were taken away from us. I have like a recent, like I'm going to go and I'm going to get the best players in the state of Louisiana, compete with nobody. I'm going to get some of the best players from the state of Texas. And just by showing up, I'm probably going to be 4-3 like they are right now. And like, you look at what your Aggies, they've busted their ass and they've done a hell of a thing, but they're at 4-2. And it feels like it's been hard as hell to get there. LSU, you're going to come in and it's going to be boom, ready to go. I'm saying it's like one
with Max Johnson.
It's top 5. I think it's top 5 gigs.
Okay, so then my question to you, and this is I want an outside perspective.
Okay,
non-tainted. How many championships does A&M have to win in a certain amount of time to be in that echelon? Like, is it 2 and 10?
2-10.
Mm-hmm. Like if we won 2 championships over the course of the next 10 years. After that second championship, are we upper echelon?
You're in Florida land.
Okay. Do you consider Florida an upper echelon program?
It's B tier.
So you actually put LSU above Florida.
Well, yes, with recent. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about Florida hasn't won their national championships. This is what, 2000? Yeah.
Okay. But before LSU's most recent one, they hadn't won since 2007.
Right. But they had also won one in 2001.
Right. Well, then didn't Florida win one in 2003? Or am I off there? Because they won they won one in the 90s for sure.
Right. So if you go back to the 2000s, yes.
So answer my question.
Echelon. So yes, right now LSU is the more enticing program as of this Saturday, where LSU beat Florida. But yes, LSU is more.
But you put OU. You put OU in the A echelon. With how many championships they won in the last 10 years?
But they're not having to. You're going to win that conference every year.
But what's that saying? But what is that saying versus like? I'm sorry, but if LSU was in Big 12, they would win that conference.
Okay,
and I firmly believe that if A&M,
so they'd stay in the echelon that I'm talking about.
If A&M was still in the Big 12 with our current situation, I firmly believe we would have won a couple. Are
you still bringing A&M into this conversation?
I'm asking. Well, that's my question. Is like, are you just?
You're asking me what about? Yes, if A&M wins 2 national championships in the next 10 years, yes, they will be in the A echelon. But okay, I'm not. That's not my point. My point is what schools do you leave? What schools do you not leave for LSU?
And I think you laid them out relatively well. Okay. I would argue from
that's like me saying if Texas Tech wins 2 national championships in the next 10 years, are they in that echelon?
But do they have the budget?
No.
No, but you have to factor everything into this situation. If you're saying, what would you leave? Right? Because to Jimbo's own point during his rant, they've given him everything we could possibly want. We've given him all the ingredients, all the equipment, everything. Mm-hmm. That is part of the factor, and you can't deny that.
Cool, great. Every program's going to give their coach the resources that they need. They're not going to give them the money.
But no, they're not, because not every school has the resources that A&M has.
Yeah, they're cool. They gave you every school's going to give their coach what
resources, facilities, swag copter when someone was here. I mean, it's dumb shit like that.
Swag copter?
You remember the swag copter?
No. Oh, is that like that thing you do in the showers of the locker room?
Someone had a Bell 407, I think it was. It's a helicopter, and he used to take it from A&M. He used to go to high school games to recruit, and he would show up, and it was like, I don't know, it was painted like black or something like that. It was called they had a Twitter hashtag swagcopter when he would come in. It was very someone.
Yes, I understand you have is A&M a top tier program right now?
No, I'm not saying we are. No,
so then what's the point of your questions?
My point is, does it just take winning the championships or even SEC titles, and then how many in a certain amount of time? And that's what I was asking you.
Well, and it's also like LSU's been doing that for a very long time. And then take away the titles and take away the championships.
Sure.
True. How many people have said that Death Valley is the craziest place to play? Now, A&M is up there with that. That was an insane scene at the Alabama game.
You mean the guy who had the leaf blower in the third deck blowing the kickback in the field?
I didn't watch.
You were too drunk to remember that.
I did see like the kicker's family. That was a cool little video. But like, so A&M has that. Mm-hmm. But does A&M have the recent national championship?
No, I'm not saying that. So it's not even the point where I'm trying to argue with you, because I think we have different perspectives. I'm asking, what does it change? What does it take to get that into your perspective?
Yeah, 2 national championships over 10 years. Okay, yeah,
cool.
But it's still wouldn't put them in like the historic upper echelon that LSU has.
You're right. But see, that's where I don't factor in the historic. I factor if I'm a coach.
And you did mention that in our texting. You were like, I don't care. Like, it's history. I'm like, oh, yeah. But
that's me, though. History. Like, fair.
Like, if we're talking about, like, anyway.
I think we got that horse.
I didn't want to go down this fucking
But I think we got that horse to where it's like, it's dead in your bed. Like, there's a horse head in someone's bed. We've beaten it to death that bad.
I love that movie. All right. Moving on.
All right. NFL. You saw the Cowboys versus the Pats. Are them boys back?
Oh, God, you just want to piss me off today with everything you want to talk about, don't you? If you go back to our preseason episode, I said the Cowboys were going to have a hell of a year. The Pats are on a... They're competing. They competed with Brady. They competed with the Cowboys. I mean, they're competing, and with Belichick and all that. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a game. CeeDee Lamb was on my fantasy team, so I was actually fist pumping there at the end. I think they're good, and they're going to win their division. I think the contest for that has already been. It's over. It's done with.
Their division is shit.
Have they played the Packers?
No.
Have they played the
Cardinals? Hold on before you go down that road.
Have they played the Cardinals?
I know damn it. This is where we're going.
Have they played the Rams?
Have they played the Bills?
Have they played the Buccaneers and won?
They played the Bucs. They didn't win.
Okay.
So let's talk about that.
I'm not trying to be a Stephen A. Smith guy here. I'm just saying I think they are. I think they're legit contenders, but I'm going to hold that little. I can't stand when people say "we them boys." I hate it. I hate it so bad.
I say it sarcastically for the record.
We them boys. No,
it irritates me because I'm like,
say it.
Where's the we?
Here's
you work for the Cowboys organization.
Cowboy fans on social media. Oh my gosh, these refs suck. Oh my gosh, I hate these guys. Why do they do this? Oh my gosh, they're winning. Oh, we them boys. Oh, you haters, shut up. That is every week with Cowboys games. Every freaking week. Like, I've had to call them out on social media. Like, can y'all wait till halftime? Like, have some faith in your team. Like, I know it's easy for me to say because my team got their ass kicked by 30. So but like,
was that last week or to the Patriots?
It's not even the first quarter. And Cowboy fans are like, oh my God, these refs, oh, this team sucks. Oh, and then we them boys, haters gonna hate, which I've already said. The haters term needs to be retired. I hate Des Bryant for coming up with we them boys or whoever created that. But anyway.
Are you done now?
I need another drink.
Okay. All right. So the questions are the best one-loss teams. I saw this pop up on NFL Fox on their Instagram. Ravens, Rams, Pack, them boys, Bills, or Bucks. Who's the best of those six? Hell, give me the top two of those six.
Lamar looks scary good.
Although he only had 11 points this fucking week in fantasy. It's shit.
He looks scary good. Lamar scares me. I'm going to go Packers. Packers look scary good since they got through their drama through the first week. I know I'd be eating crow if I said the Packers are better than the Cowboys because I predicted that the Cowboys would have a better season than them. If I'm saying best one-loss team and I'm picking my two, I've got to go Ravens. Now, I'm going to go Rams for sure. Because the Rams have only lost to one team, and that team's the only undefeated team in the NFL right now. So I'm going to go Rams. Oh, man, it hates me to do this. I'm going to go the Dallas Cowboys at number 2.
Okay. I'm going to say Ravens and Cowboys.
Lamar, I mean, that's a tough one. I was going back and forth because Lamar looks like he's going to be MVP again if he can get past Kyler Murray, who I don't think he will. Because Kyler Murray, he didn't have a fantastic game this weekend, but it looked so easy for him. And
everything he does looks effortless.
He was dropping snaps. He was just, it wasn't pretty.
In all fairness, the one just like popped out of nowhere and popped him in the shoulder.
But still, it just was easy for him.
Yeah. This is my thing that scares me about Lamar is he has no running game, right now. No support. Very little. It's better than it was at the beginning of the year, obviously. And every week he pops up on my fantasy app, questionable. I'm concerned that he's going to get hurt. That's what scares the hell out of me. So,
as I currently took over first place in points for the week, feels nice to get another one in the win column. So what do you? Okay, so we talked about the card. So you said the Ravens and the Rams.
No, I said Ravens and the boys.
Okay. Are they better than the Cardinals? Any of those teams?
I feel like the Cowboys have the best shot, but I don't know they're better.
I don't think the Cowboys beat the Rams if they play right now.
That's a scary game. That's a great game, actually.
And depending on how the Bills do tonight against the Titans.
They're laying it on them right now. I mean, they're scoring at will.
And then who did the Bucs lose to? The Rams?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to pick again. I think it's the Bucs. It's the Rams and the Bucs. I take that back. Fuck them boys. It's the Bucs. No, I don't know. So I mean, until somebody takes out the Bucs, I guess I don't know. Rams and Bucs. It's going to be a hell of a playoff race, and I'm so glad we get one extra game this year.
Well, because 5 of these teams? So 4 of the 6 and 5 of the 7 are NFC teams.
Yep. AFC, they're trying to figure out if the Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs again.
They're 3-3 now, so they're back to 500. But that was even a sketchy game.
You've got the Raiders that are maybe good, depending on if they can, deal with everything that they've got going on. And honestly, in the AFC, it's the Bills and the Ravens. Chargers did not look very good this last week.
Nope.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting in the NFC, that's for sure. Anything else from NFL that you want to throw in there? Sean Taylor's never got retired.
Should have been done under different circumstances, but I'm glad it finally happened.
Yeah, and I haven't gotten details. I heard it was kind of – I know with the timing it was a PR stunt, but then it was also I didn't see the ceremony itself. They said there was maybe not the one he deserved. I did see Chase Young do the tape on his face mask as a tribute. That's freaking sweet. I would not want to get hit by either of those guys. I just wish those guys had some better uniforms to rock right now because it's getting really depressing. But yeah, you want to get into the palette of this class?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Smoke, leather. I'm hunting, man. And it's not a bountiful hunt. Smoke, leather, honey. That's about it. C+.
Smoke, a good burn, like a really good. It's a burn there. Yeah, it tastes like Scotch. Like it tastes like a smoky Scotch. A little bit of burn. Wood.
Would you say it's a redwood?
No, a redwood. Ha ha ha. It has that kind of feeling, and I've said this before in an episode. Remember the cough spray that you would put on your throat, and it had that
very well.
Yep, I'm getting that with this.
I think that's just it is a budget Scotch. Nothing wrong with it, but you're gonna get that with budget Scotch. It's a numbing. Yeah. It's like almost like a numbing sensation,
but not as much as the last two. The last two, this one was much more than the last two. Well,
if you look at like full price of the bottle, I think that's a direct representation. I feel like the sweet spot for Scotch, in my opinion, is $40 to $60 bottle.
Yeah, I'd agree. And like I said, I keep pushing off Dalmore. But we'll see. Maybe I'll have something to celebrate soon and go grab it. There's always been a Dalmore cigar blend that I've always walk by and like
I think
nose
you're
breathe
getting
on
ahead
the
of
window?
us. Let's hold that topic just a little bit.
Okay, good thinking. C plus.
All right. So I think
What about
we're
you?
kind
What
of
did
sipping
you
the same.
give?
A C,
C.
I think. Yeah. Uh, so next one, we're gonna have to summarize Fort Dram, baseball and whiskey. Baseball playoffs are happening right now. We got 4 teams left: Braves, Dodgers, Houston, Boston. Who's taking home?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Astros aren't taking it home tonight because the last I checked, it was the third inning and it was 9-0. And they got smoked in the last game. It is currently 12-3. As a Yankees fan, I do not want to see the Red Sox win a World Series.
Well, considering they beat the Yankees this year too, so
yeah, that. But I mean, they got like what 23 to go to tie the Yankees and something like that. So
something about budgets. You know, money buys all.
Sleep well. Oh, boo hoo! Get your team to get more money. So yeah, go to bed, Red Sox fans, because you could win one for the next 10 years and you still won't come anywhere close. So don't die before then. Anyway, Braves, Dodgers. Braves, I guess. I hope. They've had 2 pretty cool walk-off wins. Houston, I love anytime this city has something to celebrate. I love Houston. And if I can watch Astro fans celebrate, good for them. So, yeah, I hope it's a Houston Braves World Series. It's not looking like that right now for the Astros, but Houston Braves would be cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm East Coast, West Coast, like Boston, LA. I don't think it's as fun as New York, LA. That'd been more fun. I like the Houston Astros matchup. I mean, the Houston Braves matchup. I grew up an Atlanta fan. Grew up watching the Braves on TBS with my grandfather, coming back from eating dinner, like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon after dinner. That tells you about my family. Yeah, dude, like Bobby Cox, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, Rafael Furcal, like name players from that era. My grandfather used to call Rafael Furcal Furky, and I don't know why that just stuck. I loved that era of the Braves.
Fred McGriff, Tom Glavine.
Yeah. John Rocker. We've talked about John Rocker in the past.
Greg Maddux.
There's another guy you never heard of.
See, I can do it too, John Cusack. I could name random ass players to prove.
I'm just saying, like, that's the era that I grew up with. Have I been the most diehard Braves fan since then? No. I'm not the biggest baseball fan. We've talked about this. I will watch the Braves play when they're on. I will go to baseball games in person. Any baseball game. I like going to baseball games. $2 beer night. What's wrong with that? But for me, it's got to be Atlanta and Houston. Like, that has to be the World Series. And I'll watch it. And I'll be diehard Braves fan until they win.
Are you watching it if it's Dodgers, Red Sox?
No.
Me neither. I'm not. I'm literally not watching.
Yeah.
Okay, so something we both can agree on. That's nice. What about Scotch? What are you thinking about for your next episode? They're really, other than the George T. Stag, and I'm sure somebody will call us out like, no, this happened in the whiskey world. It's been quite quiet. We've been enjoying some good whiskey, so we're going to keep it simple. Just kind of like, what are we going into next?
Scotch. Oh, I love Scotch. I don't know, man. Like, I think I've tapped out what I have in my bar right now, so I think I'm going to have to go get a new bottle. I kind of want to go get Lagavulin 16 because I know I'll drink it, but I did Lagavulin 11. I don't know. You want to challenge each other to go get like the same bottle?
I would like that. Let's do it.
What do you want to do?
60, let's do Old Pulteney.
But you already like that one. Let's do a new one together.
Okay. Well, then let's do our research and we'll come back and we'll do that.
All right. Coming back from that quick break. Kurt, what do we land on, sir?
We landed on Highland Park 12. As I've got to do another pause because apparently the Bills are on the 3 and it's 4th and 1. Am I lagging over there, buddy?
No, you're right. 22 seconds left.
Nice. Yeah, Highland Park 12. It's in the name of scotches that I'm quite familiar with because it's very popular.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've ever had a glass of it though.
I've had a glass, but it's been a long time. The one thing I love about this is called Viking Honor.
That's the name of the
singles.
one?
Highland Park 12, Viking Honor single malt Scotch whiskey.
Nice. Ooh, I don't
Oh,
think Alan got that. I think he fell on his face and he
I
slipped.
agree.
And I think he's short,
Well,
as the Bills probably did not convert on. So no longer in the category of one-loss teams. All right, so we'll be trying the same Scotch. Other whiskey news, was taking shots of Maker's Mark 46, which I was telling you is delicious. Like, it's so
I'm kind
good.
of mad you took shots of it though.
I know I was, but I was so engaged to beat you, and I did.
But I was doing OGD 114. So
Yeah, but I chug beers faster than you.
yeah, but I'm pretty sure I did chug a beer that night, and I'm pretty sure you were like, damn, that's pretty fast.
I can't remember, so doesn't count. The Buffalo Trace I've been killing. I did go to the St. Arnold's Brewery. That was
Tell me about that, dude.
No, it was good stuff. Another date day, so we always do food and brew.
Can respect that game.
Some bomb lamb sausage rigatoni on a lunch spot that's like upper deck skyscraper Houston. Awesome view. Started the day off with a Chardonnay Chianti of all things. Go figure. That was a nice little breakfast at 11. Then went to St. Arnold's Brew, got a couple of their beers. That place is awesome. And the thing about it was like 1 on a Monday, and it was already crowded. So I can't imagine like even.
It's also a holiday.
Well, yeah, but like, can you imagine that place on Astros games? Like, hell,
No.
You're not getting in there.
How far is it from the stadium or the park?
Not very far at all. I think we're talking maybe about 10 minutes, maybe. But
okay,
given Houston traffic, who knows?
Yeah, not going to appreciate that.
So he was short, and they took a knee, and the Titans
have won
31,
34.
And then we went over to Eighth Wonder Brewery, another one of my favorite Houston places that you've seen on my Instagram, the glasses, and you've heard us talk about on the show. And then we ended up at Whiskey Cake.
Of course.
Yes, because my wife loves a dish from there. It's like their braised short ribs and their mashed potatoes. Oh, so good.
Have you had their duck legs?
I have not had their duck legs.
It's pretty good. So I've got to ask you. Mm-hmm. You had the Russell's Reserve 13. What did you think?
That was the glass that I got there. Yes, you are correct. I thought it was delicious. I thought it was cherry. It was sweet. It was all the, everything you love about Wild Turkey times 10. Like, I instantly thought, what the fuck was Dick talking about? Like, this isn't controversial at all. I love this. This is delicious.
So,
yeah. Once again, I started with a Chianti at 11 o'clock, and I went to 2 breweries, and I ended up at a restaurant and got a glass of whiskey that it could have probably.
But they're single barrels.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes me wonder.
Because
to me, well, not really wonder. I mean, it's a known fact. You have 2 single barrel drinks in different bottles. It could be vastly different experiences.
Oh, so you're saying you wondering if I had a better batch?
Yeah. Like,
I had a delicious batch. I thought it was
because I've never had a 10 that I didn't like. And I've read people say the 13 is amazing. I've heard other people say it's horrible. I had one that was not so hot. It was sour. And I didn't like it.
I did not get sour. I really enjoyed it. I was going back and forth. I did ask about, what was the one you texted me to ask about?
The Penelope.
She had no idea what I was talking about. So they did not have that.
It was an amazing $10 pour.
And dude, I was almost that guy. I was going back and forth between the Russell's 13 and a Whiskey Cake store pick Blanton's, and I didn't want to be that guy, but I almost did.
It's okay to order once in a while.
I followed it up with a Buffalo Trace Old Fashioned.
Solid pick.
Very good. And if you haven't had the Whiskey Cake at Whiskey Cake, you're missing out on life. Like, you are missing out. If you can go have that piece, no matter what political side you are on, no matter what you think about the virus, no matter what, unless you're John Gruden, You can go get a slice of whiskey cake and everything will be okay. It's salty, it's chocolatey, like, oh shit, maybe it's not chocolatey. There's no chocolate in it, but the whipped cream, the whiskey cake, oh, it's happy.
Chef's kiss.
Yes. But anyway, that was my day. Good day of drinking, good whiskey, good beer, good food, good company. It's a good day, man.
Awesome, dude. Glad to hear you and the wife got to get away from the kids and enjoy the finer side of Houston for a day.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. It was awesome. All right. Is that it? Are we getting over that goal line, man?
Let's go ahead and get across it, man. Game's over.
Actually, we've got to rate our glass there, buddy.
Oh, shit. Good call. Good call. C+.
C+. I can agree with that with mine. I'm definitely like, if I'm talking about the $7 more for, the other two whiskeys I've had, I'm grabbing those over this any day. I don't want to mix Scotch. And I did read somewhere that maybe mix it. And I don't want to do that with Scotch. I don't know why you would do that with Scotch.
There's only a few drinks that you can do and it tastes decent. You need like Drambuie for one of them.
Drambuie. That's a whole other conversation.
Rusty Nails.
Whole other conversation. Rusty Nails. I think I caught that in college.
I did go to Tech, so I will say this: if I'm going to do,
it was on our visit to College Station. Hey-o.
You brought it with you. Good job. So, Glen Moray 15 versus Doublewood 12, about the same price point. Grab the Doublewood. That's all I'm going to say.
As of right now, Chivas has been I really enjoyed that glass.
Yeah.
So, all right, buddy, let's get over that goal line now that we've properly rated our glasses. We've talked football, we've talked college, we've talked Jimbo, we've talked Cusack, we've talked it all. Our glasses of Scotch tonight, I guess it's fair to say they weren't our best, but the cool thing is we've enjoyed each other's company, and that's what happens when you got Scotch in front of you. Side note, I have upped the cigar game recently due to this, so that's already a plus. This is already working for me. Why don't you shoot us with the socials, buddy?
All right. So, Drammers, of course, make sure you're following us on all your podcast streaming apps, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it may be. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, rank, review us, whatever it may be on the YouTube. And, of course, send us an email at fourthramandgoal@gmail.com if you have any questions. But I think the best way to follow us, keep in touch with us, is Instagram. We have a pretty good presence there, and we've got Cousin Eddie helping us out with that as well. So 4THDRAM, that's our fourth dram. We got some great hats that we're now all rocking right now, and it's got our Instagram on the back. So before we kick it back to you, Kurt, and close us out, why don't you talk about the quote of the episode, sir?
In honor of the baseball playoffs and one of the best teams in the 90s, led by the great Bobby Cox. We weren't trying to walk him. He just wouldn't swing at any bad pitches. Sometimes life can be explained just that simple, thanks to Bobby. All right, guys, we've enjoyed it. And to the next snap and to the next dram.
Drink on, Drammers.